Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel Tutor Things. Today in this video, we are going to see class members. So, what are the things which we called as a class members? So, we are going to see in this video. So basically, we have some fields like we have discussed in the previous video, like whatever the variables which we have mentioned in the class, we call it as a fields. Okay, so variables we call as a fields, and whereas methods like any functionality methods which we have written, so we call that as a methods, like which is similar to functions. So these two things are present in a class. So whatever the two combination of these two things we call it as a class member. So whatever the things which are present in the class we call it as a class members. We often refer that as a class members. So fields and methods inside the classes are often referred as a class members. So we are going to see about class members in this video. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will never miss any update from us. And if you have any doubts regarding to this, you can feel free to comment at that instant only while I'm explaining the thing. Which if you don't understand, then feel free to comment. I will definitely resolve your comment, like any problem which you have. So difficulty which you are facing will to understand this thing. So let's see how to create a class with the different kind of class members. Like there will be a fields or methods. So we are going to create two fields and one method. So these two fields and one method is also called as a collection called as a three class members. Okay. So let's say class first of all. So now we have a class called name of a class is my class. So class keyword we have to use to mention that is a class type. So class and name of the class is my class and braces are open. In that class I am defining some class members, that is two fields and one method. So in the fields what I have do is one is a string field. So string variable name. So that the color of the value of that property is color is equal to red we have given. And next we have a int type, which is a max speed that we have given a 200 value. So these are the two different fields, and we have one method called as a full total. Full total is a method which is a written type of this is void because it is not returning anything. It's just having the console write line which is printing some text only. And next we have the access of this particular method is public. There is an access modifier where we can access this particular method in any of the class by having the object of this class. So this is of public type method. So these are the three different classes, which is two fields and one method. Just understand that the collection of field and method we called as a class members. So all these things which are present in the class, either maybe the fields or methods, we call that is as a class members. So that the thing which we have to understand here. So let's see with about fields in detail. What is meant by fields, or what is how we have defined like this. In the previous chapter, we have learned like some variables inside a class are called as a fields. We call them as a fields we have seen. So that we can access them by creating an object of any class. We have seen the like dot syntax, like my object dot color, like that we are accessing those fields. So the following example, we create an object for the class with the name of my object, then we have to print the values of colors and max speed. They have to have two fields, right, which is of color and max speed, which is of two different data types. It's a string type, this is an int type. We having one main method, we are creating object for this class car. The same class we are creating object in the same class. So my object in the main method. So new class, and where I am printing the color and max speed. You can try this example by clicking on try it editor, which is of W3 schools editor, where you can see output like color and max speed. We have seen these two values there. So this is all about defining accessing the fields in the same class where we have defined those things. So you can also leave the fields blank, you can modify them creating an object. So see, you no need to assign a value every time you have. If you have defined a field, like was declare a field, you can just declare them, and you can initialize them with the value in the method itself, or after creating an object also you can do. So no need to leave that no need to give value to that field at that particular time, only declaring time. You can assign that value once after object is also created, so that also it will store into the same place or same object property, so that you can able to print that also. So here see, after creating object, my object, I am just giving the values of the color and max bit here by using dot convention. For assigning also, for accessing also, you have to use dot convention only. So object name dot color, I am assigning red color and then max bit 200. So whenever I'm gonna print this thing, I am getting this value. If I am accessing these values without assigning any value, then you can see the difference there. I'm just running this thing. So you can practice anything by editing just this file so that the particular outputs will come here. Here you can see color, you are not getting anything because that is an empty string. You can see empty space leaved here. So next max speed you are getting, because the int type, the least value it is taking as 0 by default, and next red color is coming after 200 is coming, because we have updating here and then printing, you can see. So here color we can't able to see because that is an empty string. You can see some black space here, so otherwise you will not get that space there. So this is all about leaving the blank fields and then after assigning the values after once the object is created. So this is one type. So here you have to especially useful when we are creating multiple objects of a class. So if you see here, uh, a particular assigning a values can be useful when you are creating this kind of thing, multiple objects. This is especially useful when you are creating multiple objects. See this example so that you will understand. Here see car type is there. In the main method what I am doing is I am having two different types of cars. One is Ford. Object of the car is Ford, which is of car type. So object for car class is, first object is, my first object is Ford and second object is Opel. So which is of both car type only, which has properties like model, color and year. And I'm assigning values, different values to the different types of objects. Here I'm assigning Mustang red and year is 1969. Here is Astra white and 2005. I'm assigning different values for different objects so that I can fetch that objects or values of that in a different form. Like while I'm running, I'm just gonna print model of those two different types of objects. So if you want to access this object, you have to use object name of this and then the value in that. So and then opel dot model, so I'm getting models there. If you want the color and year also, you can also fetch those values by using those field names whatever which we have. So here I want to get color, just edit these things. I want to color of Ford, and after the color of this, sorry, next after the color of after what I want to get, I want to get year. So see, when I'm running this, we'll get first two model names and after two color names and after two year names. So this is all. You can access any property by using two different objects, by two different values in those two objects. Like this we can do. So assigning values to an after creating an object will be helpful if you are creating two instance of a class. Like instance is nothing but object is nothing but instance. Here you are creating two instance for the same class with the two different types of values. So this is all about that kind. So next see about methods. Up to now we have seen about fields, like assigning values to the fields after creating an object we have seen. Now let's understand about methods. So we have seen methods in the previous concept, like methods, method parameters, method overloading, all we have seen in the previous videos, like previous parts. So here in this video we'll see how to use them likewise. So normally methods are belong to a class itself. In the class we are defining that how an object behave, like what is the main purpose of that class. We are going to do that thing in the methods itself basically. So just like fields, we can access methods also by using dot syntax. Like up to now we haven't seen like uh, accessing methods present in the class. Now that thing also we can access by using dot conventional only. However, note that method should not be a public. So method should be a public. If you want to access that method in the outside of a class, that should be a public type only. And remember that when we use that name of the method followed by parentheses and the semicolon to call execute the method. So if you want to call that method, you have to use this two parentheses and then semicolon at the end. So any statement in this all you have to end with the semicolon, right? So whenever you use the name of the method and parentheses and semicolon, that means you are calling that method. So And this is all about methods which is present in a class. So see, class car is there, some fields are there. This is a method which is of void type and which is of public access modifier is there for that class, so that the scope of this class will be public. So next we have written the car is going fast as it can. So this particular string displaying string is there for this method. Whenever you call this method, this particular string is going to be displayed on the console. So in the main method of the same class, whatever I'm doing is I'm just creating an object for the class. I'm just taking that object and calling that method which is present in the object. So present in that class by using dot convention, dot full total. I'm calling this method. So calling a method can be done like this. If you have created object, you have to mention that object dot the method name which is present in that object related class. So then semicolon, so that it will calling that method. So whenever you basically main method will gonna execute first of all. So from here this method is gonna execute and you are getting the output like that statement. So this guy is going as fast as it can. So this is all about methods. So how to call a method which is present in a particular class by using objects we have seen. So this is called object methods. So by using object you can access that method which is present in the particular class of that instance. So why we declare the method as public and not static, like in this chapter we have seen, right? It's not a static but it's a public type. So what is meant by static and what is meant by public, all these are related to access modifier. Main reason for having this thing is the static method can be accessed without creating an object of a class, while the public method can be accessed by creating an object only. So here you can see it's a public method, right? So that you have to use object. So without object also you can access this method if that is a static method. So if it is a static method, no need to create an object. You can directly access that method. That is the only basic difference between the public method and static method. Let's say some use multiple classes. How to use multiple classes to access any of these things, like methods or class members. How to access class members when if we having a multiple classes. So we have seen all this multiple classes accessing in the previous chapter also. Here also once we can see how we have to do that. So here you can see we have three fields with their model, color and year, which is of all public type, and also method is also public type, which is having return type as void because it is not returning anything but it is printing some text there. And next we have another .cs file, which is a program file where we have main method in which we are creating objects for the car class, which is having three models, field values they are assigning, and for then opal for three values they are assigning, and they're going to print in the same way how we have doing we have seen like assigning values, different values when your object is created the same type. In this case also you can also pass the values to that method, and so that we can print that like that. So now we have taken this, like not only this for or you can call this method also, whatever the method which is present in that car also you can access. See full, this is the method, right? So you can have this method here, same method there, so that you will get two times, like by using any sorry, this is a not a property but it is a class, so that you have to mention this two brackets and then a parenthesis and then semicolon should be mandatory to call that method. So see, so it's not ending, right? So that much is enough, not expecting that thing. So this is all about calling a methods likewise. So why it is not accepting as there is no method? Okay, we no need to have this then. It's again printing the console. By why should we have to write again in the console dot read line? So that should be not in the console read line. We can directly write that value here. For dot. That's my bad. So see, you will get that this car is must be that statement here. So you can access the same thing by using this opel, whatever the object which we have. By using this also we can access that method. The same statement comes for this object also, because we have the this object for the same class which is having that method, so we'll get that statement two times. So if you want to pass any parameter you can pass, so that you can change the statement likewise. So this is all about having multiple classes, use multiple classes here. The public keyword is an access modifier which specifies that car can be accessible in other classes as well, such as program. So you can learn about access modifier in the upcoming chapter. So until then, understand about having a different classes and different methods, different objects. So collection of all these fields and objects, all the fields and methods we called as a class members. So how to access class members and objects in the case of different objects or in the case of different classes we have seen. Hope you have understood this video, like all the about related to class members, like how to do changes with the fields. You can assign value for the fields after creating an object also. So this is all about class members. So that's all for this video. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can feel free to comment in the comment section. We'll definitely reply to your comments. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so that you will never miss any update from us. And share these videos to your friends and colleagues who are at learning stage of C Sharp kind of things and web development things. We have done videos on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery and Azure kind of thing. Just go to my playlist and check out all the videos. Any video of mine helpful to you to understand the things better. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.